Edgar Triay is here to tell us about them. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Triay. Let's start off with British Sign Language. You want access for deaf people in everyday living situations to government-funded British Sign Language. And perhaps you can give us an example of where it would be particularly valuable.
Well, first of all, I would like to say good afternoon to everyone and all the listeners. This current administration has done a lot to introduce British Sign Language in Gibraltar. Previously, that was done, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And a deaf BSL user at the moment have access to government services, where they, through either an in-person interpreter or through an application, they can have remote access to an interpreter and they can have access to the services. But if they want to approach a business or any other type of service, they basically have to convince the business, which they have difficulty if they cannot communicate, for them to pay for the interpreting services, or ultimately they have to pay themselves the interpreting services.
And the basic position is that they should be able to access the public services in the same way or without further barriers as compared to somebody who doesn't have hearing issues.
Exactly. If we are moving towards a society that is equal opportunity and equal rights, and we want to enforce the existing laws, they call it the Equality Act and the Disability Act. Obviously, the reason why it's not happening is because there is no funding available to them.
Sure. In respect of other measures that would inevitably, require investment, you want the next administration to establish a tinnitus clinic, and you also want them to provide free hearing aid batteries for people using GHA issued devices in their ears.
Yeah, that follows the pattern like in the UK. All NHS hearing aids the patients will be issued free hearing aid batteries. Batteries will cost an individual, depends where they purchase it, but on average, if they have 2 hearing aids, one on each ear, about £90 to £100 a year will cost the person.
Yeah, that's a significant cost.
Indeed.
Or not insignificant.
And they're seriously paying to hear people.
It's just to get on at a place where people who don't have hearing issues are already, no?
And our journey since we got established, tinnitus has been the Cinderella of the health service, and we still have problems of getting a proper multidisciplinary coordinated approach towards the dealing with patients with tinnitus. We've got ourselves a WhatsApp group that we try to fill up the void in giving support, but this seriously needs to be revisited and funded.
There's 32 points in your wish list. We're going to talk about one or two others, but can I ask you first, if somebody's listening, can they access this online?
Yes, indeed. We've got a Facebook group in the Gibraltar Hearing Issue and Tinnitus Association and BSL Club. They are welcome to join us, and they will have access there. And obviously, if they wish for us to send them a document, they can write an email requesting it at info@GHITA.gi.
Okay, so I'll ask you one more question if I can, Mr. Triay. GHITA, the Hearing Issues and Tinnitus Association, is calling for the employment of a second audiologist and also for rehabilitation officers for hearing loss. So this would be more staff at the GHA with hearing specialisms.
Indeed, if we want to comply with the World Health Organization's recommendations that were listed in the World Hearing Report of 2021, the audiology services requires a second audiologist, not only to guarantee continuity of service, but also to offer outreach screening programs to ensure that from birth to the elderly, they are covered and supported throughout their life. And also our feedback that we get is that when people are introduced to hearing aids, that they tend to give up because they are not used to hearing again.
Sure.
So the rehabilitation officers will be there to assist them in their journey,
Okay.
and also recommend hearing assisted equipment available in the market.
All right. Thank you, Edgar Triay of the Hearing Issues and Tinnitus Association. You can find their full wish list on their Facebook page. That's where we leave Gibraltar today. Thanks for listening. Ben Lynch is next on Radio Gibraltar, Teresa Gonçalves on Radio Gibraltar Plus, and make sure you're tuned into GBC Television at 9:15 for the Leaders in the Spotlight, live from the John McIntosh Hall.
And cross-border compliance, company setup and management, family